What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at my custom Alpha Trion from GetRightRobot. So if you don't know, I have worked with GetRightRobot before on other custom pieces, and they actually benefited the community, I think, anyways. So here is the previous two that he made for me, Run Amok and Runabout. They turned out absolutely beautiful. But as soon as these were made and pictures were posted, I think it was within a week or 2 weeks, within a month at least, X-Transbots announced that they were making these. So I'm happy for everyone that we are getting them. But I'm really happy with it. I love the work that he did on these. They're absolutely stellar. So I pursued another project with him, which was this custom masterpiece Alpha Trion. And I know this was going to be a lot of work. I knew there was a lot of custom pieces that need to be built because he started life as an X-Transbots Andras. You could see how different this is. The basically brand new legs. The frame and the structure is similar. The arms are similar, but a lot of it has changed. The thighs, the shins, you can kind of just compare. The feet are definitely new. The head is new. The structure and the build of the overall, the body, the backpack, the way the wings work, it's all custom built to work for Alpha Trion. So there's a lot of part overlap, but in general there are a lot of new parts here, and that's really, really impressive. This, by the way, this piece here is a piece of this guy. It's a piece of this wing, but then this is custom. So I want to go over the build process with you. You can kind of see how we got to this point, and I'll walk through the pictures. The whole purpose of this video is to inspire other people who may be wanting to do something similar, or even to inspire a company like X-Transbots or somebody to make us a masterpiece Alpha Trion. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll talk about the build process. All right, here he is starting life as the X-Transbots Andras. He's making two here. One is going to be a younger version. I'll show at the end. First piece is the shoulder pieces. This is taken from another toy. I don't know which toy, but those are going to become the shoulder pads there. Also, we had to kind of smooth out the shoulder bits because on Andras he's got a stick out piece, so that way it would fit smoothly underneath that shoulder pad. And there it is, kind of with the collar and the shoulder pads sort of in place and the start of the arms. So here's the spikes on the shoulder pads and then working out those forearm pieces. Next we get into the feet and the legs. So we had to custom build, he had to custom build some thighs. You can see those new pieces there to kind of square it off. We don't want it to look like Andras's kind of thin thighs. And then we're working on the leg and the feet, brand new shin pieces, brand new knee. You can see here, I don't know where he gets this, hardware, but all, kind of cannibalized from other toys. And he's showing the articulation here, still using those double jointed knees from Andras. In the middle of all this, the Dremel broke, so he had to go get a new one. There's the knee articulated, so you can kind of see he's put together the knee and the shin and the thigh piece there, all from styrene. And there's kind of the two finished legs ready to be installed. And just showing off some of the articulation we got with those thigh piece or shin pieces. Then their legs attached back onto the hips. Then of course we need to do some work on the hips and the crotch piece to make it look more like Alpha Trion. And there it is again, kind of fully assembled arms and legs together. And showing off a little bit here with the articulation, it kind of does a lot. Next thing we do the head. There's a lot of pictures here because the head was a lot of work. There's so many custom parts. So first off is the horns, cutting those, again, all custom made from styrene, working the eyes in, sort of carving those in, and then working out how the eye and the horns fit. And then you got to make the center horn, which is going to fit in the middle. And then there it is. Really amazing stuff. All very creative. All right, and then he cuts out the piece there to put that horn on. There it is, assembled with the eyes. And then finally we have it, the face. And then of course we need a helmet for this. So again, bunch of parts from wherever, all cannibalized. There it is, assembled with the helmet, and kind of getting the top head crest on there. And then we put the beard, again, another piece of styrene with a little articulated piece there, so you put a pin through there. And there's kind of the final head. And then there's sort of a final piece of the crotch. Next, we had to work on the backpack, so he's working on a piece to actually attach the cape. And this shows you kind of how the cape articulation works with the shoulder bits, the shoulder pads. Really all custom pieces here. Really amazing. All kind of works together. Allows movement of the shoulder bits without colliding with that backpack piece as you take it off to replace the cape. Now we're going to make the cape itself, so here's some custom styrene pieces for that. Cutting those out. Again, all handmade pieces here. Next we needed fingers. So the fingers are different lengths, so we had to cut them out of plastic. Looks like a runner there he's cutting out of. Because we didn't want those pink fingernails, so he cut off the fingernails. You can see it there. Then install those pieces. I think he used some kind of plastic glue or plastic cement, I'm not really sure. And then there's the final fingers assembled, all different lengths. Really cool. And here we are getting ready for the paint booth. So I just have the head, I don't have all the parts ready for paint, but this is typically how he gets it ready. You can see those are painted. Here's the paints he used for the body, in case you're curious. And in the middle of all this, here comes Hasbro announcing their release of Alpha Trion in their retail line. So I just thought that was funny. I'd throw the picture in here while we were working. And then there it is, finally painted all together. This took a while to get it to paint. There's that head sculpt, really beautiful. These are all his pictures, GetRightRobot. Really turned out beautifully. I love the way it turned out. Kind of the bigger legs there. Here showing some articulation. I want him to put his artistic style here so you can see it does have that. There it is with the custom Orion packs, and then again with the MP44 Optimus Prime, both his figures. There's the backpack with the kind of plastic hard back cape, and then there's the soft cape, soft goods with kind of a shiny look. And then finally there's the next project, which is coming soon, the younger Alpha Trion. All right, now that you've seen how he's built, let's go over the articulation. There are some similarities to the X-Transmas Andros, but of course some new things due to the design that he's done here. So the head is on a ball joint. It goes down to there. The beard itself can move in and out. So if you want to bend this up, you can get it kind of sticking out. Or if you want to put this down, his head can go all the way down to there. Back to there, there's another panel here. So he allowed the head to go all the way up to there, which is nice. But I really like that articulating beard. So kind of the first time I've seen that anyway. Coming to the back here, these shoulder pieces can go up and down. Really see how it works. You got to take this backpack piece off, and it's just kind of wedged into there. So this is on a ball peg down here. So this goes back and forth, and it rotates on that ball peg, and then it goes up and down on this pin. So you're really going to get this in different positions. The main purpose is to avoid collision with this as you're changing this out. I'll talk about this a little bit later because there's something to do with accessory here. But as far as articulation there on those shoulders, you can move them in and out, up and down, back and forth. On the elbow itself, you can rotate this forward on a ratchet. You have upward movement out to the side. Again, you have to move this kind of out of the way, but you can get that up and out. Rotation at the bicep. Double joint elbow gets you the full bend. You have a rotation at the wrist. Individually articulated fingers at one ball joint at the base, and then 2 pin joints for each finger, so you can individually articulate them. You have a waist rotation here. There is a piece here in the middle that he's sculpted, which is really cool. You can see that kind of belt piece there. That looks really nice. You have hip skirts that go a little bit out of the way, and the leg can rotate forward on that ratchet. Back on the ratchet. Get the arm out of the way, out to the side on friction. A rotation at the thigh. These hip skirts are on ball joints. They do move up and down. This one's a little bit loose. I'll put some kiki in there, but they do work pretty well. And they mimic that shape that we're looking for Alpha Trion. You have a double jointed knee here. So the bottom one is ratcheted, the top one is friction, so you can get it all the way up to there. So you can get the bottom part bent first or the top part, but you can't get it past 90. And the knee kind of moves with it. This is a sculpted piece that he obviously custom built. Coming down here, you can take this. This is on a ball joint here and a hinge, so you can get this up and out of the way. So I like to take the foot and move that forward, back. You get the side to side, which is part of the original build of this figure. So there you go for articulation. Coming to the back here, if we put these back in place, you can articulate these on a ratchet. These move out to the side. And then you can extend these pieces here so you can kind of get wings, basically, if you wanted to, on these. Or you can just have them straight back for that traditional look. Now, it doesn't come with any accessories other than an alternate cape here. So this has its own system here. So I'm going to just show you that. So you pull this down, rotate it, you see there's a screw right there. So if we remove that screw, this cover plate comes off the way it's designed, and you can swap it with this cloth cape here. So I'm going to do that off camera just to show you what this looks like. But here's the material used, this nice shiny purple material with this on the front. So if you prefer cloth, I prefer the plastic because I think that's more cartoon accurate. But let me swap these out and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, there he is with the cloth cape. It does kind of look better from the front because it fills out more. And from the back, it's got that shine to it. And for a quick size comparison, there he is next to the MP44 Optimus Prime. Fits in perfectly. He's just slightly taller to the top of his horns here than MP44, but man, it fits perfectly. I love the taller legs that they put. Andros was always a little bit small in the Masterpiece Collection. Maybe he's meant to be, but this, because he's increased the height of the legs, works perfectly for me. So final thoughts on the GetRightRobot Masterpiece Scale Custom Alpha Trion. Let's start with questions that I normally get when I put up videos on these custom pieces. So the first question I usually get is, does it transform? This one in particular does not transform. Other customs that I've gotten from him, the Runamuck and Runabout and the Jetfire, which I got to do a video on, but those actually do transform, and they are fully transformable back and forth, no issues. So this one in particular, I told him it doesn't need to transform. That gave him a lot of creative freedom to do a lot of stuff, like these shoulder bits, the knees, all the kind of custom pieces you see here wouldn't really be there because they would not be able to kind of collapse into the alt mode. So he doesn't have an alt mode in the G1 cartoon, so that kind of made things easy, right? He just needs to articulate, really. The other thing, like question I get often is, can I get one? And how much does it cost? The short answer to that is no. So GetRightRobot kind of does one-off customs. Once he's made one, he's more than likely never going to create it again because he's off to do other projects. So I'm only one customer of many that he has. They all have different ideas and projects that have come to fruition. So this is just one. So this is a one-off. He will most likely not create another one. Now you saw in the teaser photos, if you haven't, I'll put it up here, but there is a younger version, the A3 version of Alpha Trion that he's working on. He was building these two together as a pair, but that one kind of isn't finished yet. So you can expect to see that one. That's not mine. Because I had to show him in some of the pictures for the build of this guy, it's kind of already revealed that that's being worked on. But like I said, every piece is custom. Every piece is unique. Every piece has different parts that he has to fabricate, different amounts of paint. So for that reason, I can't really give you a pricing. It depends on the project that you go to him with. Now, getting his time is pretty tough because he's booked out for months and months, probably over a year at this point, with different projects and different things that he's working on. So if he could even get his time, unlikely that he would build another Alpha Trion. I'm sure this was hundreds of hours of work over months or weeks. This took quite a while. We went back and forth with a few images and ideas, but all of this is him. True creativity, true artist in what he does. So I do appreciate it. I hope this inspires some of you to make your own custom Alpha Trion, or even a third-party company, X-Transbots, to make one of these guys. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.